Hello, what's up? I'm Brian here doing another video for you guys, and this time I'm talking about these leaked rumors that just appeared out of nowhere. Now, I'm not confirming that these leaks are 100% confirmed, so take everything with a grain of salt. I just saw these names and listings appear out of nowhere, and some people are sharing it around. You know, there are certain leaked listings or rumors that you find online and it turns out to be false, so take everything with a grain of salt. I need to make that very clear, but I like talking about these lists because they open the opportunity for certain things to potentially come out and make things a little interesting, especially with listings like this. So let's go ahead and talk about this. This is coming from TFW 2005's forum from Retgar39, and the thread title is "I'm drunk from Leak Squad, I quit it, and here it is on a throwaway." Now, I also want to say that some of the wording and the sentencing might sound off. Again, apparently he's drunk while writing this, so whatever. 2021, the two sublines are Buzzworthy at Target and Shattered Glass on Pulse, which is very interesting. So it seems like that Optimus Prime, if this is true, and Ratchet pack is not going to be the only two Shattered Glass packs. And, that really is telling us the Bumblebee Buzzworthy lineup and where that's coming from, so it's good to hear a little bit more on that. The Shattered Glass I know about are Jetfire, so Jetfire finally gets a repaint down the road. Megatron from the Earthrise mold, understandable. I mean, if the Optimus is the Earthrise mold, the Megatron would be as well. Starscream, that makes sense too. Goldbug, that's going to be pretty cool to get a Bumblebee in those colors. And then we also have Kingdom Megatron into Rexy, which I'm kind of curious about that one, but okay. We also have Amazon exclusive packs are back with Earth Mirage and Beast Wars II Skywarp from AirRaiser. Now, the Earth Mode Mirage, that one has me a little bit curious how they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to completely remold the Mirage that we already have. I mean, it's potentially possible, but I think what they're going to do is just put different tampos on it that aren't going to look Cybertronian. As far as the AirRaiser, or the Skywarp that's from the AirRaiser, that actually does kind of make sense, because on the AirRaiser toy, it uses the bird head in one of the modes for the robot head. You can switch them out. And if you look at the Beast Wars 2 Skywarp figure, it has that, but with the face underneath it. So I can definitely tell that there's potential for them to remold that to look like Beast Wars 2 Skywarp. So it's kind of curious to see exactly how they go about doing that. We also have Earth Sideswipe with Grimlock from Dinobot. So the Grimlock definitely makes sense that they would do that from Dinobot. I could totally see that happening because that's an obscure figure from way back in the day. They did that originally, so I could see them doing it with this. And then for the Earth Sideswipe, now, originally I saw that, I was thinking, are they really going to do that? But the more you see the listings, the more it does make sense for them to do it. Walgreens Exclusive is going to be an Earth-style Red Alert, and I'm glad it's not Ratchet or Blue Streak that have already been released in the Siege and Earthrise line, where they have so many exclusive figures. In fact, I think for some of them, they're all exclusive figures that you can't get at regular retail. I'm glad that they're doing Red Alert because a lot of people also still have a Siege version of Red Alert, so they don't need to get this, but they could if they potentially want to. So I think that's a nice idea. MPMs are both in Buzzworthy, the 77 Bumblebee and Barricade reissue. So I'm not sure what they meant by 77. I think they meant 07 Bumblebee, and what they mean by that is the 07 Camaro. Because that one would make more sense if they're doing Barricade as well. Not so much the Volkswagen Bumblebee, although I could see them doing that later in the line. I think what they're going to do is that 2007 Camaro and then that 2007 Barricade version just as reissues, which I'm not disappointed by. I'm okay with that. B-Line almost certainly has Cybertron B and Animated B. So Cybertron B, I don't know if they meant that it's going to be the Studio Series Cybertronian Bumblebee or something, because Bumblebee was not featured in the Cybertron or Galaxy Force line, so that kind of doesn't make sense. That's why I'm hesitant about that. But the animated Bumblebee, so are they talking about the one from Transformers Animated? That one I would not mind seeing. I'm kind of hoping for that one. Now, this is where things get really interesting for me, and I really want to talk about this. 2022 is a mix of everything, some leftover things from G1 War for Cybertron, some Beast Wars, some other continuities, basically old style generations again. And if that is the case, I'm going to be very happy about that, because I do like some of the sub-themes. I mean, with Combiner Wars, we finally got a lot of these combiners with Bruticus, Superion, Defensor. Like, it pushed for those characters to finally get released, because otherwise I don't think those characters would get released right away. I think that, if anything, we would have only had 1 or 2 combiners. As much as people criticize how simple they are and you know, they're not the best designs and how many repaints there are, at least we got a Bruticus, Superion, even a Devastator in that line. And, you know, with Titan Masters, we got the Headmasters finally in the line. That's not just Brainstorm because he had a Voyager class toy, and so on and so forth. But I kind of just want them to do whatever again, like the older generations where they had Rat Trap, they had Tankor, they had RC, they had Chromia, they had Waspinator, they had Bumblebee, Goldbug, Megatron, blah, 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 blah. They had whatever they wanted to do. They even had Thunderwing in the line. I want them to go back to doing that because, you know, I like these sub-themes. I'm glad that they went on to push the Kingdom line with Beast Wars, but I just want that general mix, because I feel like with sub-series, when they get stuck to doing that, I feel like it's a little much, and we kind of want to get out of that right away to get something else, something a little different. And I'm just overall kind of tired of that. I just want them to do anything they want, because if they do anything they want, we could have Unicron Trilogy, G1, Kingdom, or Beast Wars. They could do Beast Machines even. They could do whatever they want. And another good thing is that with the Beast Wars lineup, in Kingdom, apparently they're only doing Season 1 characters for that. So if they're going to continue with 2022 but not give it a sub-theme, that means they could do whatever they want. They could do the follow-up Black Arachnia, they could do Beast Machines, they could finally do Silverbolt. All these other iconic characters, they can carry on into whatever's after Kingdom. So I'm really hoping that's the case, because as much as I kind of appreciate the sub-themes for bringing us certain themes and certain characters that they wouldn't do normally and just do random things, I want them to go back to doing some random things so that they could just do whatever they want with. And we're already kind of getting into that because Kingdom's already a mix of G1 and Beast Wars to begin with. So Tarantulas is the only one you are getting of the 3 and a new mold. That sentence doesn't really make sense, but I believe someone clarified previously that Tarantulas apparently just got in at the last minute for Kingdom, so apparently there's a rumor going around that Tarantulas is actually going to get a toy, and I'm hoping he does because he's one of the most iconic characters from the Beast Wars line, and how can you do a Beast Wars line without Tarantulas? That just doesn't make sense to me. So that I'm kind of excited for. Selects are as follows: Earth Deep cover. So again, that kind of carries over to the Earth Sideswipe, so that's 3 different versions of that mold, which makes me think that we might be getting that, and especially considering the fact that Deep cover was listed previously in other lines, doing it in Earth mode kind of makes sense to me. We also have Transmutate, so I'm curious to see what they do with that. I'm kind of feeling like they're just going to mix a whole bunch of maybe weaponizers, modulators, but I'm definitely thinking fossilizers into one figure. I kind of want to see that. They're also doing Road Rage, which makes a lot of sense if they're doing tracks. Kind of expected that. I mean, we got the Wheeljack repaint, so, you know. We're also getting Toy Galvatron. Now, there was a rumor that the Studio Series were not going to have Galvatron, and some people complained about that. And I want to clarify, the reason why we're not getting that is because he's already in Kingdom. So that's why, apparently according to the listings, so that's why you're not getting a Galvatron in that. But to also see a Toy Galvatron repaint of that figure, I know a couple of people who are going to be excited for that. We also have T-Rex, which I believe is a original repaint of the Beast Wars Megatron toy. Now, the thing about that is T-Rex's name has already been taken over by Mattel and Mega Construx. If you search up the Breakout Bees, which I'm actually into, there is a figure by the name T-Rex that's spelled out the same way. So I'm curious if they're going to keep the name or if they're going to have to change the name. We'll just have to wait and see. Artfire, so that would be a repaint of the Inferno, and of course the Grapple, but closer to the Inferno. That I could see, but I kind of wish that we got Holler instead, but Artfire's fine too. So, following up with that, Sweeps and Junkions, probably Studio Series, but maybe Selects. I can see that happening, although with Scourge, I don't know how they're going to do it. I guess they're going to change up the head and maybe some of the colors, but I kind of feel like if you're going based on the original cartoon, you could just have a whole bunch of Scourge and it would be fine like that. But Junkions, so does that mean that we're going to get a Wreck-Gar? I mean, of course, with the Studio Series 86 line, if we're getting Grimlock, we might as well get Wreck-Gar as well. I mean, it's kind of funny that Grimlock got a toy ahead of Wreck-Gar, but whatever. Bumblebee Movie Seeker, so this is where things get really interesting as well. Thundercracker is an Amazon exclusive, which makes sense, he was in the movie. Skywarp is Walmart exclusive. I believe he was in the movie. I believe he was one of the purple and gray Seekers. And then Thrust is a Target exclusive. Now you're probably thinking, was there a red Seeker in the movie that wasn't just Blitzwing and Starscream? And he's not going to be red, most likely. He's going to be green. And you're probably thinking, green? Thrust isn't green. If you go by some of the concept art and you see the movie, there is a green Seeker with this cone shape at the top of it. The green color is actually based on his Armada version. So, you know, there is some certain ties to that. Anyways, Hasbro Pulse will carry 5% of exclusive stocks from like Amazon, Walmart, etc. So you can order from them instead. Kingdom Spoiler Pack 3 is actually big spoiler for one, so that's interesting. And that is the list so far. Again, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm just talking about what's shown here. With that out of the way, that is pretty much it. So I thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun doodads. And I will see you guys next time.